economics and talk about economic systems. This section, our objectives are that we are going to describe the three basic economic questions each country must answer to make decisions about using their resources. And we're going to contrast the way a market economy and a command economy answer those three economic questions. The basic economic questions. Economics is the study of how individuals and groups of individuals strive to satisfy their needs and wants by making choices. So they have to answer three questions. What should be produced? How should it be produced? And who should share in what is produced? There are different types of economies. There's market economy, command economy, and mixed economy. Market economies are economic systems in which the economic decisions are made in the marketplace. So this is where you would exchange funds for goods and services. That's considered the marketplace. It's also known as the private enterprise system, free enterprise system, or most familiarly as capitalism. All resources are privately owned. The government is there to promote free trade and prevent unfair trade practices. There's generally an uneven distribution of income. There is definitely a distinguishing between the haves and the have-nots. The wealthy, usually a pretty good middle class, and then the people at the poverty level. Individuals bear all of the responsibility of being informed and making good decisions. So the idea of buyer beware, caveat emptor, is very much on the purchaser, the consumer. In the market economy, you have to answer the question about supply and demand, because price, supply, and demand creates a relationship. Price is the amount of money that is given or asked for a product. Supply is the amount of goods or services that producers will supply at a given price. Demand is the amount of goods or services that consumers will buy at a given price. And then equilibrium price is the point at which the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied meet. So here you can see in the graph that the demand curve, as the quantity is on the x-axis and the price is on the y-axis, at the high price on the left-hand side, there's very little quantity demanded. And as the price decreases, going to the right, quantity is going to increase. The supply curve follows the opposite trend, where as the price is low, there's usually going to be a low quantity supplied as well. And then as the price increases, there's going to be more supply. And that point where those two graphs intersect is going to be the equilibrium point. A command economy is an economic system in which the central authority makes the key economic decisions. The government decides what will be produced, how it will be produced, and who gets the goods. Government owns and controls all of the resources and the businesses. There is little choice in what to buy. Prices are controlled by the state, and if it's not a need, it's probably not going to be available. There's no wage distribution, so regardless of your skill level, highly skilled earners will earn the same as lowly skilled workers. Moderate command economy, which is also known as socialism, allows for some private enterprise, but major resources are owned by the government. Another way to think of a command economy is true communism. Very few countries, however, are purely market or purely command economies. Most nations have some sort of mixed economy with private ownership of properties and individual decision making combined with government intervention and regulation. So you're going to have elements of both capitalism and socialism. An example would be US and Japan. Government will provide defenses and education and aid to low-income families, which are aspects of socialism, but primarily it's a market economy because the majority of decisions about the economic questions are going to be made by the marketplace. And the allocation of resources are decided in the marketplace, not by the government. Whereas you have France and Sweden, which are generally thought of as market economies, but surprisingly, the government owns the major industries that are in the country. So they have a little bit of capitalism with more socialism, and the US and Japan have a little socialism with mostly capitalism. So most places tend to fall within one realm or the other. Probably the only place I can think of that has a pure command economy would be North Korea. In fact, I can't think of any country that has a purely market economy at all. Most places have some sort of influence by the government, some sort of ownership by the government. All right, that is it for this lesson, and that wraps up chapter 2.